everybody, Destin is here again, and today I'm going to look at even more data maps. So this is a map of the American Cascade eruptions in the last 4,000 years. I'm assuming that this is a time frame, and this is the more volcanoes in the slot. I guess the more eruptions happen. So let's take out the elephant in the room. St. Helens. There's like 10 volcanoes in it. There's like 10 eruptions in here alone. Wait, and that's in the last 4,000 years only. I don't really know. I'm not any geological expert, but there's probably some geology to do with this. Then the least one, I think it's Hood. They literally just told it after a piece of clothing, huh? Wait, no, actually it's Adams. They literally only have one, and I say that's about 1,000 years back. Why? I still don't know, but again, I'm not a geological PhD person. And then all these other places have about 5 to 6, I guess, except for Lassen and also the Three Sisters. I honestly don't know what to do with this, probably geology, but besides that, I don't really know much about geology to begin with. The most common grocery retailer in each state in circa October 2017. So, just as I expected, there's quite a lot of states that have a lot of Walmarts in them. Honestly, it does make sense. The first supermarket you associate with the United States is like Walmart. That's quite obvious. And then most of these ones besides that, I barely know the name of Piggly Wiggly. That's it. Why on earth is that even a grocery name? But then again, I don't really live in I don't even live in the United States to begin with. Safeway is over here on the west coast, also including Alaska. Again, half these things I don't know. Then there's Smith's. Then what is this? Albertsons. That's the name. Kroger, Giant Tops. Yeah, I don't really know much of this. Publix. You need to just name Publix. Honestly, I guess it made sense that's Walmart because it's quite big brand, but again, I don't live in the United States, so I can't really tell you guys much about this. This is a map of where this guy has went to. So in the blue, it's where he's from, which is this place in England. And then in the red, it's where he's been. So he went to this peninsula in Italy, the bottom part of France, the bottom part of Portugal, these islands, this small part in Poland for some reason, a bunch of parts in the United Kingdom, and then the place near the British Isles in France, and then this top part of Norway, which is probably very cold. Interesting, not exactly the most useful, but interesting. This is apparently the so-called nowhere anybody lives line. Obviously got its name because, of course, nobody lives there. So I guess most of this part is farmland. I mean, the only substantial place that has a decent amount of people is Clermont-Ferrand, wherever that place is. Like, there's barely anybody live here. That is until you go to Montepalila, but besides that, nobody lives here, and I don't know why. Maybe because there's a lot of farmland and it's sparsely populated, but besides that, I don't really know. So this is the map of, is your American state larger than the state of Sao Paulo, Brazil? In green rod, yes. So obviously it's Alaska because Alaska is monstrous. Then Texas and California, it's quite big. And then all these other states and Michigan. And then in the red you got no, and that's literally all the East Coast, most of Midwest, and Washington, Idaho, and Utah. I mean, Sao Paulo is quite big. I mean, it's definitely around this big, except a lot bigger because, it's not to scale. But the point is that Sao Paulo is big, I guess. So this is the percentage of the national population in each district, Portuguese district and autonomous region. So obviously I think this is probably where Lisbon is, the nation capital. And then these top north parts have quite a lot of people. 8.1%, 17.3%. Nation capital is 21.9%. Nobody's gonna beat that. Then the eastern you go, the more sparsely populated it is. Like in these places, there's no more than 2%. Except for 4.5% on here. Then in these middle places, it's 3 to 4.5%. But honestly, I mean, how much population Portugal begin with? There's probably like 38 million. Oh, I overestimated that. It's 10.41 million. So that means that's not really saying much. But I don't really know why these places have less population, and I can't really explain why too. The public votes for Israel at Eurovision in 2024. So keep in mind, the Eurovision is literally just a singing contest, and all these countries are in it, and deciding if Portugal can if Israel can enter or not. So in the navy blue, we got Israel, and then I say like the vast majority of the Eurovision members, like half of them at least, have 12 points for Israel to join the club. So I guess there's a good chance that they might go into it. And then there's 0 points from Ukraine and Croatia. They don't like Israel at all. And then it's kind of interesting why there's no 2 or 4 points and 9 points too and 11. So for some reason there's no 2, 4, 9s and 11 points here. Then there's 1 point from Armenia, and that's it. There is 7 points from Georgia, and then I honestly don't know why these Eastern nations have a not so good relationship with Israel. I honestly don't know why, but I won't be a judge of them. So I say Israel has a good chance of joining in, but I'm not the side of it. Do you own your home? Home ownership in European countries of 2022. So let's get the elephant out of the room. In Kosovo, 98% of the population own a home. Now this is kind of controversial because we still don't know if Kosovo is a country or not. But still, that's impressive. And then in Switzerland, only 42%. That's less than 50%. Well, along with Germany and Denmark. I guess it makes sense in Switzerland because have you seen how expensive it is over there? It's ridiculous. And then all the Balkans, at most of them have a home, and also Russia for some reason too. I don't really know why. I guess inflation hasn't hit too bad, but then again, there's also just one map where it's shown that robots has more currency than the Russian ruble, so I don't know why. And then most of Europe, it's around 50 to 60% of the population own a home. So I say, but then again, remember inflation's not as bad then, so that's good thing to keep in mind. This is a map of if rain was deadly, what would be the safest place to be at? So this is actually quite interesting concept. So in the grey, we got not enough infrastructure. So obviously it's all these northern parts of Greenland and Nunavut and those northern parts of Canada. Obviously it's too snowy and cold to make any infrastructure, if there is any. And then it makes sense in Libya and Algeria because half the whole country is literally in the Sahara Desert. So apparently the primary state will be Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, and also Arizona for some reason. Egypt, Oman, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and also Iraq. I guess it makes sense because it doesn't really, and it does not. I guess it makes sense because it does not rain that much in those places, which again in this hypothetical universe is very good because rain will kill you and everyone you love. So in the dark grey, we got highly undecided. So that's all these tropical places, India, Indonesia. That makes sense because it rains basically a lot. Then in the green, we got low and average, which is basically most of the world. Then in the pale green is desired, so if you cannot get to the Utah, then at least you can go to most of the Midwestern states and Australia. I mean, at least you just know that in this universe I'm protected. So in the dark green, it's undesired, which is, I can't really find it because most of this map is green, but it's probably somewhere there. So anyways, that's it for today, guys, and see you later.